Hi guys, it's your girl Tchanielle back with another video. Right now I'm filming on my iPad because my computer needs a new fan and it got overheated, so we're going to give that a rest. So just bear with me if there's a little bit of shaking with the camera because I have to hold it while I'm filming. This video is basically going to be about how to eat when you have a Crohn's disease flare, or a flare of your IBD, or a flare of ulcerative colitis. Basically, this is just my opinion. This is how I usually eat, how I usually deal with the symptoms, and how I kind of try to maintain my health during that time. One of the most important things, because I have a few things here that I'm going to just show you just out of demonstration, because nobody wants to listen to someone talk and just stare at the screen watching someone talk. That's just so boring. So I do have visual props for you guys, alright? I'm not going to bore you with my spiel about how to eat during your Crohn's flare. First off, I would like to just say really quickly that when you have a flare, you normally are very nauseous, very crampy, your stomach really hurts, seriously. The best example I can give you is if you ever had food poisoning, or if you ever ate something and it just made you extremely sick and you needed to evacuate from any available open place from your body, for the lack of better words. That's usually what happens when you have a flare. And so doctors usually suggest, and I'm not a doctor, this is for informational purposes only, I must restate that every time I film one of these videos. Sometimes people have diarrhea where they're just constantly going and can't keep anything in. It's just, just uncontrollable diarrhea, and if you ever had diarrhea to the point that you were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this to stop, just imagine that going on for weeks or days. It gets to be unbearable. Or in my case, it could be the opposite effect, where you have that urge to go to the bathroom but you can't. And so that's pretty much what I go through when I get my Crohn's flares. I want to use the bathroom, I feel that urge, and my body is not allowing anything to take place. And so I have a few items here just to show you really quickly that are really helpful for me. First and foremost, you want to have what they call a low residue diet, and sometimes that's the brat diet: bananas, rice, applesauce, toast, just stuff that is really easy on the stomach, really easy to digest. Now, of course, there's no nutritional value. Well, I wouldn't say no, very little nutritional value with the brat diet. Which is why it's not recommended to stay on it for that long. But, when you get caught up in a flare, your diet usually has to be very bland, because even just simple spices, or, just a little bit of Mrs. Dash or Laurie's or whatever you season Goya adobo, can cause irritation to your stomach. So you really have to bring it down to just the bare minimum basics. Now, for me, when I'm flaring, I love cream of rice. And of course, this is going to be backwards. I can eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, mix it into a little bowl or in a cup and just drink it down. I like to put honey in it. Honey is very, very good. Where's my honey? Honey is very, very good for those who can tolerate it. Some people have allergies to it, but honey has natural digestive enzymes that can improve your digestion, that can help you to break down foods you know, in your digestive system. So it's good to have honey and incorporate that into your diet. And also, what I found was a great use for honey was when I would get heartburn, like especially at night, and the heartburn would like, let me just fix this. Do the right thing. Okay. Sorry. Have to be coiffed. Okay. I'll talk about my hair too a little bit later. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Honey. And I was talking about honey. I really don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, so let's move on. So yeah, with the honey, it's good. Oh, it's good for like when I get heartburn. That's what I was saying. And the acid would rise into my throat, like it would just be crazy. And I would get up in the morning just to say, okay, I know honey soothes your throat, whatever. And I would take about a teaspoon of honey and I would just eat it, you know, straight out the bottle. And about maybe the next day, or you know, after maybe 2 or 3 times doing that, like my throat would be soothed. It wouldn't be burning, it wouldn't be scratchy. And so that definitely helps with that. And then also when I make my cereals, my cream of rice, I like to add almond milk. Almond milk is amazing, and I can digest it really easily as opposed to soy. From the research that I did about soy milk, it says that it kind of slows down your digestion. So I really didn't want to get anything that was going to impede my digestion or slow it down, especially when I'm having a flare and all you want is for things to function normally anyway. Back to the cereals, of course, you have cream of rice and then you have cream of wheat. Yes. So cream of wheat is amazing because for those who don't have the celiac disease or those people who are not allergic to wheat, you know, of course it's healthier than rice. Rice is kind of empty, you know, like an empty carbohydrate, but of course it's easy on your tummy. So sometimes I actually sprinkle a little bit of the cream of wheat inside of the cream of rice if I can tolerate it. The next thing I have is oatmeal. Now some of you say, oh, you can't eat oatmeal during a flare because it's going to scratch, it's going to irritate, you know, you just can't eat it. What I do is I actually blend my or liquefy my oatmeal into some almond milk, and I don't even have to like cook it or anything like that if I don't want to, if I don't want it warmed up. And it actually forms like a thick little shake, and I just drink that down, and I feel like it's a little bit healthier as well than the rice, and it's not going to irritate my stomach. The next thing is yogurt. And I like Activia. This is Activia. I don't know why the name is not. Oh, here it is. Activia. Woo-hoo. I like Activia. I actually prefer more natural yogurts like Chobani. I do eat a lot of Chobani, especially their flip, the Coco Loco, almond Coco Loco. Yes, sir. It's so good. But with the Activia, you know, it has the extra enzymes to help regulate your digestive system. So I usually have at least one of these per day, usually in the morning. Another good thing is applesauce, any kind of applesauce, but I usually get like the Healthy Harvest ones or the medleys. I forget what they call them, but they're the ones that have like the vegetable juices mixed into it. So I usually like to get those as well because, you know, it's a little bit more healthier. The next thing is, and this is not the final thing, but this is the most helpful thing for me. When I was saying I blend up stuff, my Ninja. Woohoo! This Ninja was about $20 at Target. If you have a Target Red card, you get your 5% off. So that's basically covering tax in Jersey. Tax is like 7%. But the Ninja, to help blend up stuff, it's amazing. It's a food processor. It's a blender. It liquefies things. If you need like personal portions, it's perfect for travel, on the go. I'm going to be taking it with me when I go to Atlantic City next week. for a girls' weekend, woohoo, for a bridal shower weekend. And so, you know, it's great. I make my smoothies with it in the morning. My smoothies consist of my eyes twitching a little bit. That's one of the side effects of one of the medications that I'm taking, and I actually feel it and see it, so it's kind of weird. Whatever. That's the side effect of the Entacort: joint pain, twitching eyes. There's a plethora of them. There's not as much as other medications, but there are a few side effects that I have personally. Oh, and extreme sweating. Like, I sweat. I don't sweat this much ever, but like if I get like a little bit nervous or like, you know, a little flustered, I sweat like crazy. So that's another side effect as well that I'm kind of working through with this medicine, but such is life. But yeah, the blender is very, very helpful, like for blending up my smoothies. I do spinach with water. Blend that up because you want to liquefy that. You can't really just throw the spinach and everything in together because it won't liquefy. The water helps to weigh the spinach down, so I put that in there. And then I add half of a banana and some orange juice. I would say maybe like half a cup of orange juice. And then I add about a quarter cup of almond milk. And so that becomes like the base of any smoothie that I make. If I feel okay and I feel like I want to add something, I might add frozen pineapple chunks, or I'll add fresh strawberries to that base, or I'll add, you know, whatever I feel is necessary. I'm getting ready to actually start juicing as well, because I don't want to get to the point where I'm flaring and I'm not having a healthy intake of vegetables and fruits and stuff, because it's irritating to me. So I'm also going to start juicing as well, and I have a book, you know, with plenty of recipes that I'll be sharing with you guys. The last thing is bananas, and that goes to the smoothies. That goes just for anything. Bananas help to combat my fatigue and my joint pain. Bananas, they just give you so much energy. It's kind of silly to say like, yeah, bananas, but they give me a lot of energy. And with Crohn's, you have a significant amount of fatigue. I also get rashes like in my joints and on my arms, and they just come and go, rashes out of nowhere. But yeah, I find it like very necessary to have bananas during the day, at least one banana. And the last but not least, but the final thing for this video, but the most important thing, is water. Water is so important just for daily life and period, but for Crohn's disease it's significantly important, because you want to make sure your body is hydrated with these medications. You want to make sure your digestive system can produce as much acid as possible and has what it needs as far as liquid is concerned. And my rule of thumb for drinking water is 1 glass when you wake up, 1 glass before lunch, 1 glass after lunch, 1 glass before dinner, and 1 glass before bed. So that's usually what I like to do in order to make sure I get a significant intake of water. If you guys have any healthy or helpful tips for eating when you have Crohn's, IBD, or a ulcerative colitis flare, please let me know. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.